How's it going, people? TheCompleteRS here, and welcome to your quest guide for Mournings End Part 1. No nonsense, just what you need to know, let's get into it. So quest-wise, you need to have done roving elves, big chompy bird hunting, and the sheep herder for this one. Skill-wise, you need 60 range and 50 thieving, and item-wise, you will want a bear fur, 2 silk, a bucket of water, a feather, some leather, a magic log, a rotten apple, your ogre bellows, and a toad crunchy. In your bank, you'll also want 4 red, blue, green, and yellow dyes, so 4 of each. And you'll also want at least 20 coal, as we need to distill some naptha a little bit later on. Other stuff in your inventory, you can have some munchies and your combat gear for the start of this quest, as you do need to kill a mourner in order to get a full set of mourner's gear, and you'll want 7 inventory spaces as well in order to pick that mourner gear up. To start this quest, you need to speak to a Lunid within his after, at which point she'll teleport you to Tletia, and you can speak to Arianen to get a teleport crystal. Now, you may very well have already done this and already own the teleport crystal and technically started Mournings End Part 1. If you've done so, then wait until about 2 minutes in and we'll meet up there. If not, you need to speak to a Luna to start, and she randomly teleports around the Azaftar forest. 2 easiest places to find her, one west of the Tyrannan lodestone. Just go to the west, through the dense forest, past the crossbow trap, your second set, and you'll come in this little area right by here. This is the easiest one, just wait around 5 minutes or so, they typically teleport around. The other one is just outside Tletia. So speak to a Luna to start this off then. Run through a chat nice and quick and choose option 1, yes, I should go see him. At which point you'll then teleport over to Tletia. You'll receive a teleport crystal, run through a chat nice and quick, and speak to Arianen right next to you. Run through his chat. And once you've done so, we now need to teleport up to our dome. We need to go get ourselves a full mourner's set. So from the RD lodestone, you want to run it to your west, and we're going around the back side of Azaftar itself. So run directly to your west. Go across the little log shortcut here, if not, walk all the way around. And head out the north exit of RD and basically just run directly to your west. We're going just to the southwest to the entrance to the Gnome Land. So keep going west and go past this little hut, and not far now. Eventually you'll come across a nice little wall on your south side once you pass the set of gnomes. Once you're here, run down towards your south, go through the doorway, and you'll be around the back side of his after. So just around by here you'll find some mourners wandering around, just casually stab one of them in the face. You want 7 inventory spaces for this bit, so make sure you have them. Once you do, pick up the full mourner set and the note that they drop as well. Go ahead and read the note. Once you've done so, we now need to go and speak to Tegid in Tavali, so go ahead and home teleport over to Tavali. Once you're at the Tavali lodestone, run down towards your south, and then go east across the bridge, and next to the lake you'll find Tegid. He's a little druid fellow who's washing some clothes in the lake. You'll want 1 inventory space for this little bit. So as soon as you have that 1 inventory space, go ahead and speak to Tegid. You can find him right here, cleaning his clothes. Run through his chat nice and quick. Once you've done so, make sure you have an inventory space and search the laundry basket just a touch to his west. Go ahead and steal the soap, and you want to use that soap on the mourner's top to clean it. Once you've done that, go ahead and use the crystal teleport seed to teleport back to Hletia. Once you're in Hletia, go ahead and speak to Arianen. Run through his chat. And in the northwest of Hletia is a clothes shop. Go inside and speak to Oronwen. Run through his chat. Choose option 3, do you mend clothes? Run through his chat some more. And eventually he'll take the mourner's legs from you, your silk and your bear fur, and you never got to wait around for about a minute before you talk to him again in order to retrieve your trousers. So if you don't have your dyes, conveniently this bloke does actually sell them, so you can buy them straight off him. But essentially, just wait around for about a minute or so, real life, and talk to Ronwen again. Once you do, you'll have your trousers nice and repaired. So eventually, once that minute's gone by and you've talked to him, you'll retrieve your trousers from him. Good times. And it's time to move on to the next bit. So you want to equip the full mourner set right now. You cannot have anything else equipped, so make sure you just have the full mourner set on. Make sure there's nothing in your ammo slots, anything like that. And bank it all in the bank nearby. There's no more combat for the rest of this quest, so don't need any armor or weapons. Just need the full mourner set equipped, nothing else. So once you've done that, go ahead and home teleport back over to RD. And it's time to infiltrate the mourners. So from here you want to go into West Ardone. So run down to your southwest past the bank, cross the bridge, go around the other side of the palace and enter West Ardy. So once you're in West Ardy, you want to run almost directly up to your north, and there's a large building in the northeast corner, I should say. You want to make your way inside here. Open the door, go in through the western room, and there's a trapdoor in the corner, make your way down. Once you're down here, directly south in the first room we come across is a head mourner. Go ahead and speak to him. And as usual, you know what to do, run through his chat. You'll hand over the letter, you'll chat some nonsense. Choose option 2, yes. Then option 2, yes. Then option 1, yes. Run through his chat some more. And it's time to interrogate a gnome. So you receive a key from him, go ahead and enter the room just to your west. And talk to the gnome. Run through his chat. And eventually choose option 3, Toad Munchies and Being Tickled. Once you've done that, you want to use your feather on the gnome. Run through his chat. Then you want to use the feather on the gnome again. And then you want to use your Toad Crunchies on the gnome. Once you've done so, talk to him once again, then right click on the gnome and release him. Once he's released, talk to him once more. At this point, you now got to wait around for a minute or so and he'll end up fixing this bazooka weapon for us. So just hang around for a bit. And then talk to him again after about a minute's gone. So once a minute's passed, go ahead and talk to him. You should receive the fixed device. With that in hand, it's time to move on to the next bit. Let's go ahead and home teleport and go back up to Ardy. We're going to go into the bank now, get a few items out. So make your way over to the bank then, and we now need to grab all of your dies. So 4 red dies, 4 blue, 4 yellow and 4 green. So once you have 4 of every single die, we now need to get ourselves some dyed toads. So the easy way to do this is just simply teleport over to Yanil or Gutaneth and make your way over to where you did the big zombie bird hunting quest and grab some toads down there. So from the Yanil lodestone then, you want to run down towards your southeast. Go south between Gutaneth and the little island. And then basically run almost directly southeast till you hit a little pond with loads of little toads around. So for this bit you need to use one of your dies on the ogre bellows. And then use your ogre bellows on one of the swamp toads. When you do so, you'll obtain a dyed swamp toad. Basically just rinse and repeat this until you've got 4 of every single colour. So once you have 4 of every single colour toads in your inventory and ready to go, you will now need to teleport back up to Ardone, and we need to shoot some sheep in the face. So from the lodestone you want to up to your northwest just a touch and you'll see a group of sheep wandering around right next to the potato field. And you want to shoot these sheep with one of your green toads. So in order to do this, all you have to do is simply use the dyed toad, so in this case a green toad, on the bazooka. Then right click on the bazooka to wield it, and then when it's in your equipment screen, go right click and fire. And then you need to move about until eventually one of the sheep is in the centre of your crosshairs and fire with a little red button. Once you do so, all 3 of those sheep should now be dyed green. Once you've done that, there's another set of sheep just to your north right next to the fishing guild. Again, you need to shoot these but turn them yellow. So use one of your yellow toads on the device, equip it, then right click fire. Get one of the sheep in the centre of the crosshairs and fire. It is fairly straightforward, but it is also very easy to miss because they do move around. That's why we have 4 of each. So once they're dyed yellow, you then want to run almost directly to your west. You'll find another bunch of sheep. This time you want it to be dyed blue, so use one of your blue toads on the bazooka. Equip it, fire, and shoot these sheep in the face. And the last one then is just to the north of the bank itself. So if you run just a touch towards your southeast, you want to use one of the red ones on your bazooka. And just south of where we did the first green set of sheep, you'll find another set You need to dye these red. Once again, exactly the same thing. Use your red swamp toad on the bazooka, equip it, fire, and shoot a sheep in the face. So once all 4 of those sheeps are now dyed, it's time to move on to the next bit. So you want to head back to the head mourner. So you want to head over to West Ardy now. So once you're in West Ardy, you want to run directly north and go into the large building in the northeast corner. Make your way into the western room and go down the trapdoor. Once you're down here, run south into the first room and speak to the head mourner. Run through his chat. And it's time to move on to the next bit. So you now want to go and speak to Eleanor, who's located just north of the Ardy Palace. So you want to go back over to East Ardone. And you want to go just north of the palace. And the building on the far northeast side, on the west side of the river, is the one you need to go into to find Eleanor. Go ahead and talk to her. You can also go ahead and drop any spare toads you have on you now. You don't need them anymore. So just north of the furnace then, this northeast little building, you'll find Eleanor inside. Go ahead and talk to her. Run through her chat. Then talk to her once again. Now you need to wait for about a minute or so. And once again talk to her after a minute's passed. So once a minute's passed by, go ahead and speak to her for a third time. She'll end up giving you a sieve. So once you've got that item, it's now time to head over to your northwest. So go out of Ardy and then run directly to your west. Go past the training area. And right next to the entrance to the Gnome Land, you'll find an apple grove. Make your way inside there. So once you're here, make your way inside and pick up a barrel. Once you have the barrel, go ahead and use it on one of the rotten apple piles. Then you want to use that barrel on the large barrel in the center of the grove. Once you've done so, go ahead and pick up a second empty barrel. So with the apple barrel and an empty barrel in your inventory now, you need to go and teleport to Tyrannon. And we're going to go pick up some tar. So from the lodestone, almost directly to your south, you'll find a little tar pit with a bunch of sulfur all around it. Go ahead and use your empty barrel on the tar pit in order to obtain some. Now that you've got those, it's time to teleport down to Valley, and we need to bank, as we need to get a bunch of coal out now, as we need to distill ourselves some naphtha. So make your way to the bank, whichever bank you want, and get yourself some coal out. Once you have that coal, we need to make our way down to Remington. So once you have your coal, make your way over to Remington. On the west side of Remington, you'll find the chemist, same bloke we used in the previous quest, Regicide, and need to distill ourselves some more naphtha. So the distillery is fairly straightforward, there's not much to it, although at the same time I suppose it's rather easy to completely and utterly fuck it up. But watch this just before you do it and you'll understand straight away what I'm meant to do. So click on the still itself, and I'll load up a little screen for you. Use your tar on the still, and then click on it to activate. Once you do so, you get this little settings in front of you. On the right hand side there's a tar regulator, turn that valve all the way to the right. And then the pressure gauge on the left hand side will max out. Once that's happened, turn your pressure valve halfway across, and then in the center there's an add coal button. Just add coal slowly, and the heat on the right hand gauge will slowly increase. So your tar regulator should be maxed, your pressure valve should be at 12 o'clock, your pressure gauge should be maxed out, and then you just add coal slowly, keep the heat gauge somewhere around the green mark, and you'll start distilling. If it goes too low, then you won't distill anything, and if it goes too high, it'll explode in your face. So keep it around the green mark, just add coal slowly. Take your time with it, and you'll have no problem at all, and you should distill yourself some naphtha. So once you have your naphtha, go ahead and use it on the apple mush. Then you want to use that apple mix on your sieve. And you should obtain some toxic naphtha. On doing so, you want to run to your east to touch into the main area of Remington, and there'll be a cooking range on the northeastern house. Make your way in there, and use your toxic naphtha on the cooking range. Once you've done so, you'll obtain 2 powders. So now that that's done, we need to head back to West Ardy, and it's about time we finish up this quest. So, home telly, straight over to Ardy, and make your way over to the west side. It's time to poison some civilians. I never said we was good people. So once you're in West Ardy, you want to go into the main central building in this little area right by here. It's the main large office. Make your way inside, go into the western room, and use one of your toxic powders on the grain sack on the west side. Once you've done so, almost directly south of you, you'll find the church. Make your way inside there. And head upstairs. And again, use your final toxic powder on one of the grain sacks. Once you've done so, you now need to head back and speak to the head mourner to finish up this quest. So again, it's the building in the northeast corner. Make your way down the trapdoor, speak to the head mourner, and that is quest complete. So that's Mournings End Part 1 done and dusted. So for doing this, you gain 2 quest points, 25k HP XP and 25k Thieving XP. You also gain access to the Death Guard headquarters and the village of Letia, as well as the Crystal Teleport Seed. And if you need some more of those, kill the elves inside Letia and they'll drop them for you. You also gain the full Mourner's gear, which you'll want to keep for the next quest, and basically the rest of the elf series to be fair. But there we go, that's pretty much it people, so congrats, that is Mournings End Part 1 done. Till next time, I'll catch you all later, have a good one.